Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. Today, I'm going to be doing a review of this Euro Bushcrafter from Bark Rivers. This was the first production run of it, and it's a Magnacut. I have some good things to say about this, and some thoughts as well. I ended up getting the cheapest version of this that they had on the website, so of course it's just a silver pins and the matte micarta. Having said that, I do like it a lot, and there are some fancy versions of this. Um, and overall, this is a kind of a bigger bushcraft knife for me. I think other people might disagree. 4 inches on the cutting edge and 9 overall. Usually my style is something a little bit smaller, like this ultralight bushcrafter, which is substantially smaller, right? Um, the cool thing about this is that it's got the Scandi grind with the convex as well. So this isn't a straight Scandi grind, not like your LT Wright, which has just a flat here. This has a convex grind as well down here. It's also very flat, so it's a little bit thinner behind the edge compared to your usual Scandi grind. And it's got that distinctive European Coke bottle handle, which really helps it lock in the hand. Now, obviously, LT Wright has this more like hammer grip, and I actually like this a lot. This is good and nice and thick. Sometimes European bushcraft knives, like this is the Jarapuco, very good knife here. Just a little bit thin as far as with the Coke bottle shape. It's a little bit too thin. It still locks in and it's still good, but it's not quite as comfortable when it's fat right in the middle for me. Having said that, this is like a 60 or 60 euro knife and well worth it for 80 CRV2. Um, Another thing I should well, I want to compare this to is something I just got, which is the DBK Bush Friend, and this is the Bush Friend 2000. In a lot of ways, it shares a lot of similarities between these two knives here. Almost the exact same size, blade shape, and profile, even with a little bit of a drop point on the Scandi grind. And the only real difference, again, is that the BRK is fat in the handle right here, and I do like that extra bit of thickness right here compared to this. I think that this blade shape and the choice of cut, the Magnacut, is really good for this. I think this is going to be an intermediate, what we'll call an intermediate review of this, because I don't think that I've done enough justice to it or carried it enough, but I did want to review it because I gotten it so long ago, but it's not camping season anymore. I have used this, and now let's talk about the one really bad thing about this. This sheath that it came with was so extremely tight and small that it took me a really long time to get the knife down to this point in this. So much so that I worried that other people who had bought this might have accidentally stabbed themselves with this knife. I mean, just extraordinarily tight in here. And this was obviously half a size to a size too small for this knife. Having said that, I appreciate that this is a directional sheath and that it's not one of your standard sheaths from Bark Rivers. Let's see if I can show you what I mean, like one of these round asexual type sheaths here, right? I do like the fact that this is more directional and has some style to it. It's just half a size too small. It was like, I swear, getting this knife in was so incredibly hard. Now, the other thing that I'd like to point out is that it's got this notch up here for a fire steel. Now, I have a Bark River fire steel. It is one of your thicker ones. What is it, like 5/8 or something like that, or ½ inch? So a really nice, big, thick fire steel. Fire steel I can hand down to my grandchildren one day, right? Because they're going to be into bushcraft, I'm sure. Now, in general, when you're using this, like LT Wright has a nice sharp spine here, very easy to throw a really big spark here with just a flat side. This year, now I've looked up European bushcraft knives and stuff like that. I don't know where this notch comes from. I can't remember seeing it on another knife. Please tell me if I'm wrong. And it's really obvious. But having said that, I have used this on this curved part here, and it fits perfectly with there. thing. And I can't tell a difference, like, between going from the flat and going from this, about the same amount, maybe a little bit less with this round one. It does keep the round shape of the ferro rod longer. That's an interesting side effect, but I don't know long term if that's really worth it or not. I really don't. It also kind of acts as a big jimping point here. So if I really choke far up on it, I can put my thumb there. In general, though, it has a little bit of jimping close to the blade, and that's just perfect for me. So this notch, I don't know. I'm going to be really chagrined if someone in the comments says that's actually not for fire steels. That's for some other bushcraft task, which I don't know about. If it is, well, please let me know. I'm really curious what that might be. This came very sharp out of the factory. And as far as I can tell, there's absolutely, like, this is a knife that was sharpened evenly on the bevels. Like, you have to, when you talk about Bark River, you got to talk about the control, the quality control of the knife. And as far as I can tell, this one is absolutely fine. Everything seems to be even on the way that it was sharpened. Very nice thickness at the point. And like I said, because the grind on it is a little bit taller than your average bushcrafting knife, so it's a little bit thinner behind the edge. And I've split wood with this, I've made kindling, and I've done some whittling and carving with it as well. Absolutely good to go. I've bashed the crap out of it with a baton. I've cleaned it off, so you don't see the marks right now. The marks came off really easy in general with a little bit of alcohol from batoning wood, but I bashed the crap out of this tip and nothing happened to it. Will they make this again? That's an interesting question. I don't know how well it sold. I will say that I personally like this knife, and I think it's pretty darn cool. I'm glad I got a first production run of it. I'm glad it's got the compass stamp on it. Like I said, this smaller size, this is the ultralight bushcrafter, is more my style. And also this is S45VN. Honestly, Magnacut is a solid choice for this. Absolutely fine. Might have preferred it be in 3V personally. I like 3V a little bit more for this type of knife. But it's not quite as rust resistant, and honestly I'm usually on the sea or in the water when I'm camping more often than not, so I'm not against the Magnacut because it is definitely better in watery environments than the 3V, although you just have to take care of 3V. I mean, if you seal it up and you put some knife shield on it, it's not the end of the world. So that is my review. Do I think it's worth the price? Yes, I do, but it's a really niche knife, and it's only going to be for people who like a larger bushcraft fixed blade type knife. It's about the same size as your LT Wright Genesis, which I think is a real banger. If I had to choose between this guy and this guy, which one would I choose? Whew, that's a really hard comparison, but I'd go with the Genesis. If I had to choose between this and like the Bush Friend from DBK, this is about $100 cheaper than this version, and I don't know. I haven't carried this enough yet to know if I'm really going to love it or not. So I think it's not a fair comparison, but $100 is $100. However, this handle shape is a little bit nicer, so I'm kind of leaning towards the DBK, the DLT, sorry, BRK, the BRK knife, because of the ergos on this. But again, I really need to carry them a little bit more to tell. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Comments really help the channel. And as always, if you want to get a chance to win a knife of the month, all you got to do is click the link down below for Patreon, and you can go and for $3 a month be entered to win a knife of the month. Thanks so much, peoples. I will see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye bye now.